Do men want a woman who's nice to them and emotionally invested? Yes, but here's the thing, it is mostly when it's earned and balanced. When you try too hard to please and you become too attached too soon, many men don't feel more secure. They actually feel pressured, confused, or even repelled. And it's funny because I know that 99% of you understand this, okay? And you say, well, that's not me anymore, right? Like, I don't do those things anymore. But when I see some of the text messages that you send, some of the things that you do with a guy, I'm like, yes, this definitely applies to you. My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker. And in this video, I want to break down 5 specific behaviors that often feel loving and natural to you, but are commonly misinterpreted by men in ways that create distance. Once you understand these dynamics, it's not just going to shift how you date, it's going to help you attract a man who doesn't just show interest, but actively invest in building a relationship with you, okay? So let's begin. Number 1, being thankful for low effort. I see this all the time, women over celebrating the bare minimum, feeling genuinely grateful when a man replies to a text, remembers a small detail, or checks in occasionally, okay? I mean, treating basic effort like a grand romantic gesture. But this is what's really going on in a man's mind, okay? When he realizes that it takes very little to make you happy, when your appreciation flows freely without him having to show up with consistency, effort, or depth, his motivation is going to begin to fade. Men stay interested when they feel that they're actively choosing you, not when they feel that they've already secured you by doing the absolute minimum. And I hear this in coaching sessions all the time, okay? When a guy disappears or he pulls away, one of you is going to say, but Ismael, he was really into me for the first few months. I mean, he texted me every single day. And to that I say, I mean, texting only takes 5 seconds, okay? Yes, he was being consistent, but consistent with low effort. I mean, the key is not how often he shows up, it's how he shows up, okay? And whether his actions carry weight, depth, and intention. Number 2, adjusting your mood to match his. Many times you're going to find yourself suppressing your own emotions, avoiding expressing sadness, stress or frustration, right? Like you want to be positive all the time because you don't want to ruin the mood, okay? Trying to keep the peace. But with that, you're not creating connection, you're simply performing. And let me tell you, because I've done this in the past many times, okay? And that is that performance is going to kill polarity, okay? Authenticity is always magnetic. Predictability is not. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to unload all of your, frustrations on the other person, like things that have to do with yourself, those you are responsible for, okay? Because a lot of the times we expect our partner to be our therapist, our best friend, okay, and like fix everything for us. But when you're constantly pretending, okay, when you're constantly trying to match his mood, trying to match his opinions because you think that you can connect better in that way, he's going to feel that he can control your energy and he's going to stop being curious about who you really are. Because when you're doing all of this, he's going to stop leaning in because he's not discovering someone with emotional depth, he's just seeing a reflection of himself. So the real question is not, how do I make him stay? The real question is, am I living in a way that feels authentic to me regardless of who's watching? Because people don't fall in love with perfection, they fall in love with presence, with the kind of energy that can be faked or adjusted to win someone over. Number 3, giving space scares you. When you are too attached, space is not going to feel safe. It's going to feel threatening. And that's exactly what causes so many of you to overgive, overanalyze, and overfunction in relationships. You notice a shift in his mood and you immediately try to fix it. You ask, are you okay, again and again, and you worry that his silence means that something is wrong, or worse, that you did something wrong. And then you try to be extra cheerful, supportive, or available, hoping that it's going to bring him closer. But understand that men don't pull away because they need more of you. They pull away because they need space to feel themselves. When you don't know how to handle a quiet moment, when you're checking in constantly, trying to manage his emotional state, you unknowingly create pressure, not connection. It kind of tells him that you're not secure unless he's constantly reassuring you. And again, sometimes, we need some reassurance here and there, okay? But what men find attractive, especially long-term, is not constant closeness. I can tell you that the most magnetic women don't panic when a man needs time or distance. They understand that space is not rejection. It's just part of the natural rhythm of intimacy. Number 4, over-explaining yourself. When you are too attached, it often shows up in the way that you communicate, especially when you're trying to avoid disapproval. You send really long text messages, you speak to him for 30 minutes, justifying simple boundaries that you have, and you try to make sure that he doesn't misinterpret anything, not because you're unsure, but because you're so afraid of him losing interest. But the problem is, as you know, that over-explaining only signals insecurity. This tells a man that you're more concerned with managing his perception of you than standing in your own truth. And the women who inspire the most respect and lasting desire, they communicate with grounded confidence, not with long essays trying to explain every single emotion that they feel. And for you to understand this better, let me give you an example of a client that I've recently worked with, okay? Look at the message that she was about to send. And I know that a lot of you send messages like this, okay? And then look at the one that I crafted with her and she ended up sending instead. Okay, so here's the original message. Hey, I'm sorry. It's just that in the past, I rushed into things and I gotten hurt. So I'm trying to be more cautious now. It's not that I don't like you or that I think that you're like those guys. I just need to take things slow so I don't end up making the same mistakes again. And now look at the one that we crafted together. Hey, that's a personal boundary for me. I like to take my time getting to know someone before moving forward. So as you see, this second version is simple, okay? It's clear and straight to the point. It communicates self-respect without apology. And that quiet confidence is often far more attractive than any long-winded justification. And final, number 5, building a future in your head too soon. Okay, tell me how many times you got too attached too soon maybe, and your imagination started running wild ahead of reality, and you started building a future in your head with a man who you barely even know. You attach a lot of meaning to his text messages. You assign emotional depth to moments that honestly may not even, mean the same thing to him. I mean, how many times you ladies come to me really upset because a guy goes to you, disappeared after 2 amazing dates, and that's, 2 dates, I mean, that's nothing. You don't even know this person. You've only seen the trailer of the whole movie. And the truth is that fantasizing too soon is going to create emotional imbalance. You're going to project a lot of things onto him. You're going to bond with your idea of who he is, and you're not going to be able to look at his actions objectively. This kind of early investment is going to lead you to overlook red flags, ignore your needs, or overextend yourself emotionally because in your mind, you're already in a great relationship. Meanwhile, he may still be in the curiosity phase, unsure what he wants, and you're here, building a whole life together. All right, ladies, so let me clarify that being kind, loving, and emotionally available are beautiful traits to have, okay? Never doubt that. But when they're offered too soon, people end up taking you for granted. Men don't respond negatively because you're too good. They respond this way when it kind of feels that you're giving everything before there's even any real foundation. The truth is that when you respect your own time and energy, you're not just going to overgive and overanalyze everything. You're going to let a man to have emotional access to you depending on how much he invests. Now, if you've recognized yourself in any of these habits, please don't beat yourself up, okay? Awareness is always power, it's always the first step to change. This is your invitation to shift from anxious proving to grounded receiving. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad you've chosen me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.